guys, welcome back to another episode of Muay Thai Saved Me. My name is Kru Neil, and beside me, look who's back, guys. Look who's back. My business partner, Edwin Lopez. And across from me, we have Mike Thomas, aka Sugar Shane Mike Mosley. For anyone who knows this guy, I always say he's got more names than a phone book. I've given him all these cool little nicknames. But Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And for those people that maybe don't really know you too well, can you tell us a little bit about who Mike Thomas is?
So, as you said, Mike Thomas. I've been involved with MTK for almost 2 years now. Time has gone by fast, but it's almost 2 years. Training steadily, pretty constant every single day, as much as I can at least. Picked up Muay Thai as kind of like a means to work out. And now it's become a hobby and almost an obsession.
Nice,
and,
nice. And what do you do for a living?
I work security, so I'm a security supervisor at an LA area hotel.
Okay.
And I do the night shift there.
Okay.
So I've been in there for 15, not security, but collectively with the company for 15 years.
Damn. Had you had to fuck anybody up yet?
Nah, not yet, man.
Just curious.
Nah,
you know people, that's exactly what they're asking. Muay Thai, security,
they've done,
and night.
Yeah.
Like,
I always get the question, like, no matter what, and it's kind of like, it's never come to that, thank goodness, but
do you have those moments where you're like, oh, come on?
No, there's times where it's like, you think that it's gonna escalate to that, and because there's some crazy people out there, especially like in the LA area, just walking around the building, and so that's another reason why I try to take the training serious here, because you never know when it's going to become useful. Thank goodness it hasn't been used yet, but that's not to say that it won't.
Yeah. It's funny too. A lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of times situations can be talked down. You just have to use the right tone of voice, right? But obviously there's some just crazy weirdos out there that sometimes you just need to put hands on them. It always reminds me of like the Roadhouse movie, just be nice, right?
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
And then what position do you play in that? Are you head of security?
No, so I'm the supervisor. So we have a director, manager, and then supervisor.
Okay.
And so I'm the supervisor, and but I do lead. Like, I'm the only person that's there at night, of authority, I guess, if you want to call it. And so I'm dependent on a lot for decision making and all those types of like processes and stuff like that. So yeah, in a sense I have like my own independence there, but I still report to two people that are higher up than me.
And you said that you've done Muay Thai with us for like almost 2 years, 2 years.
Going on 2 years.
Do you feel now that with the position that you play, do you feel Muay Thai has helped your confidence that if something were to happen, you have that, that comfort and that ability, like, I know some stuff now that if something were to go down, I can protect myself, I can protect my team, I can protect my staff.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the confidence has grown with that in mind so much over the last 2 years. Like the first year or so, because I was so off and on with training, it wasn't like something that I had really noticed. But the past year that I've been training, it's like constantly, like 5-6 days a week, 2 classes. I'm kind of like, I'm starting to retain a lot of stuff and just pretty much like, I look at it like I'm learning how not to flinch whenever something comes at me, and then plus with all the sparring and
that's right.
Like nothing.
We're like, try it.
Yeah. Well, you get hit in the face and kicked and stuff like that. You kind of like you start learning how to see how things are coming at you, but you never know what's going to happen in a street fight. So it makes me more confident that I can at least defend myself and try to get out of a situation if I have to, rather than sitting there and having like a knockdown, drag out fight.
Yeah.
But so it's helped out a ton with confidence and being able to walk into confrontation that you have to do like on a some not nightly basis there, but it can pop up, and I'm kind of like, all right, cool, I got this. Big guy, all right, cool, I got this. Smaller guy, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like, let me try to talk it down first. And like I said, nothing's ever escalated to something physical, but like if it did, I'm like like I'm confident that
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to get myself out of it at the very least.
That's
Plus
right.
you have your team behind you, so that gives you some more,
Absolutely.
artillery.
Absolutely.
But
And is it? Overheard you guys prior to us starting. You guys have a history prior to him being here with us 2 years.
Yes.
Yes,
A lot of
sir.
people don't realize I met Mike back in like 04, 05, 2004, 2005. He was with us when Kru was still alive, and we were in Van Nuys,
Wow.
city of Van Nuys at that time. We were at our second location at the time. And I met Mike through his friend Jacob, and Jacob had recently signed up and was like really excited. What did Jacob tell you like back then? Like, how did he get you into the gym that day?
Jacob, him being the person that he is, always just kind of wants his friends to do it, or find out what he's doing. And so it was just hey, come chill, come train. And I was like, all right, cool. One way to work out and just kind of hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, I got there, that was like the worst workout I've ever had in my life. Like totally unexpected. Worse in a good way. I was just kind of like, how the hell does anybody even do this on a daily basis? Like I thought it was impossible.
Wow.
There's no way you come and do this 4 or 5 days a week. Like you're gonna have a heart attack. Man, it was some. Kru said, "Do you like animals?" I'll never forget this. He said, "Do you like animals?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, good. We're gonna do crab walks. What's the other ones you have us do? The bear crawls. Yeah, the crabs and bear crawls, and we're going across the floor." And I'm like, I'm about to just lay out here on this floor, man. That's it. It was bad, but
But what brought you in though? Like Jacob said, hey, come check this out. But you could have easily denied it and said, no, I'm cool. I'm going to play basketball because I know you play basketball.
Yeah.
You could have easily denied it, but what brought you in?
because I'm just like, I'm game for stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, why not try something new?
Okay.
Probably at that time I had like some good athleticism. Why not try to utilize it in some other way, and find out what my boy is doing and
Okay.
what's it all about. And for the most part, it's just like because it's something new. What if I do like it? What if it's something that I latch on to?
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't.
And yeah, I was gonna go into that. And so Mike didn't really stay with it. I think we were talking, trying to kind of finalize. Like I feel like he was there for like a month, but only came like a few times total. And obviously it didn't work out right at that time. When you think back to that old Mike, why was it? Why did you not keep coming back? What kind of threw you off track where you just didn't come back anymore?
And I'm not even lying, the workout one, I was like, it was so strenuous. I had never been through anything like that. And I played like football and basketball and stuff like that, but it was different. So you have that in the back of your mind, especially a young mind. You're kind of like, I'm not getting up and, doing that type of workout. Forget that. 2, maybe financially wasn't in a position. 3, I just didn't have an appreciation for it. It was just a workout to me, and I can just go run around the block and sweat that much if I wanted to. Like I don't need it, and just lack of appreciation overall.
Okay.
That kind of like made me go away from it.
Okay.
And how old are you, Mike?
I'll be 39 this month.
Oh, okay. You're still a young cat.
So you fast forward, how many years is that? Like 15 years? At least 15 years, right? We fast forward, and then Jacob ends up coming back to MTK and brings Mike back as well. This time around, what's different? Why did you decide, you know what, now's the time, I'm going to come back? I remember Kru Neil, like, yeah, I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
What was the mind shift in that?
That was it was an instant decision. Like I came into the trial class, and at that point, I got through with it and I was like, I'm signing up for it. Because something left me that day, I was like, damn, my body was like, thank you. Like in my mind, my body, like the feeling was so damn good that I was kind of like, I can see myself doing this like 2-3 times a week. And then I started thinking when I was signing up, I'm like, man, I'm gonna want to do this, 4 or 5 times a week, as much as I can.
Yeah.
And so when I had come back that time, the difference was, I had my body, my mind had an appreciation for it, and I was kind of like, damn, I could see myself continuing to do this and make something positive of it, rather than just kind of like, you go to the gym and I'm gonna do bench today, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
do squats on Wednesday, and then you go home, and then you don't do the things that are kind of like necessary to keep yourself afloat with like weightlifting. But this kind of like, I don't know, I got done, and it could have been the time period that I was going through in life. Not that it was rough or anything, but me and my sister had just purchased a house, and so that was stressful. I was going through school, and so that was like time consuming and stressful. And it was just kind of like a release. It felt like, and then it just came off. It all came flowing out that day. That was like November 2021, and so I'm going through it. Mentally, I'm trying to like figure out how to become a more like happier person, and stop letting those small things bother me and responsibilities. And then, you came here, hit some pads, and do some bag works. I had my buddy with me that was like, I was kind of like, oh, cool, I can, have him look after me in the class. And then it just all worked out.
Nice.
And I haven't stopped, since. Really.
You have, and if anything, you've like excelled. Like you're taking multiple classes a day now. You're coming literally every day. Like I think there's once in a while, maybe due to work commitments, you won't come on certain days, right? But for the most part, you're there like at least 5-6 times a week now. And I wanted to ask you, because you kind of touched into it a little bit. You said you were kind of going through some stuff, right? When you started committing yourself to Muay Thai training, how did it help you dealing with these little things that you were dealing with? How did it help you?
Like I said, it's a release. That stuff is always going to be there, like the responsibility, and hopefully you can get rid of the stress of those responsibilities and learn to accept it. But at the very least, what coming to the gym would do for me, I'd get through with all this stuff and lay down at the end of the night, and I'm like, all right, cool, I got Muay Thai to look forward to tomorrow morning, and I'm just kind of like, I'm excited about it. And I'm like, so I'm building up my excitement and happiness and joy in life by being able to look forward to coming there to train, and then after I train, I'm kind of like, cool, I completed that. I'm fine for the rest of the day, and that's how it still is to this day. It's one of my things that I feel like I have to do in order to make my day go right. Besides like the off day that I take to rest my body. I still have that same mentality of this is something that I need to do in order to like make the rest of the day go right.
Nice.
And things have gotten easier as far as like learning how to take on the responsibility and the stress and stuff like that. And I attribute that to Muay Thai a lot. You have to slow down, breathe, and let things flow in Muay Thai. So you have to do that, with everything else in life. Like learn how to breathe.
I think all of us can agree with that. Muay Thai has definitely helped us with that, because life and Muay Thai training are so like similar. It's crazy what you endure in Muay Thai training, you endure in life too. And I find everyone that I've ever spoken to that trains Muay Thai, it's always those same benefits. It's like it teaches you how to handle obstacles in life. Life has a funny way of punching us in the face, and it's like, okay, you just punched me in the face. What do I do next? Do I keep letting life punch me in the face, or do I put my guard up? Do I angle out? Do I pivot? Do I move? Do I slip my head? You learn to adapt. You know what I mean? And that's what you got to do in life too. Life is going to throw some crazy stuff at you sometimes, and it'll continue to throw crazy stuff. But what are you going to do next? What's your problem solving skills like?
It's like one big like Muay Thai metaphor.
You should write a book.
A
life in Muay Thai business or some shit like that.
Wow.
Look out, David Goggins. Right? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
I'd buy it.
Promotion.
There you go.
Right now.
But Mike, what's been the so you were coming, what was the shift in your mind that was like, all right, I want to step it up a notch. I want to come to, you started saying for multiple classes. How did that happen?
That happened, I can distinctly remember. So do you remember the weight loss challenge? Or not the challenge, right? I was so mad, and I didn't want to take it personal, because I know it's not personal, that I didn't even get mentioned. Like personally, and this is within me, because I was like, damn, that's the hardest I ever worked, like through June and July. And then I didn't hear the name, and I was like, damn, man, like what can I do? Like obviously I didn't do enough, so what more can I do? And so that entire August, after everybody's name was mentioned. I did like the entire month, you know, like didn't take a day off, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna start doing this well. That didn't like happen as far as every day, but I started stepping up to the point it's kind of like I can't take 2, 3, 4 days off, you know, and expect to have the results that I'm looking for in terms of like training and then, you know, losing weight and stuff like that. But that's when the mind shifted, and then when I shifted my mind and my thought process for it to like take on more, it ended up being that I had to build that habit too. You know, it wasn't just automatic like I struggled with I'm taking today off, even though there was no reason for me to take the day off. So now I've kind of gotten past that hump. It's like I'm gonna be here, you know, I'll take one day off, maybe 2, but I'm definitely gonna be here the next day as long as I'm able to, you know, I'm not sick or something like that, you know. But yeah, the mind shift.
That's it sounds like you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's ultimately like, I use that saying a lot because that's what makes genuine change for anyone is they're just, you got sick and tired. My name didn't get mentioned in the challenge, but I worked so hard. But then you start thinking, well, I didn't really work that hard, right? So you were just sick and tired of that. You were just like, you know what, enough's enough. Boom. Let me make some changes. But I like what you said too, Mike, because a lot of people don't admit this, is once that change happens, there's still hard days. There's still days where you're like, you're fighting these mind and emotional thoughts that just want to prevent you from making these changes. But then something inside of you like, no, come on, dude. Like, why are you taking a day off? There's like no reason for you to, you need to go, let's go. And it's a progressional like step. It's a progressional step each time. And I love that because I try to reiterate that to everyone. I try to always, in every episode, try to mention something about mindset because your mind attributes to everything that we do in life. You know what I mean? There's always obstacles in our mind. There's always emotional things that we deal with that will try to deter us because we want to be comfortable. Our bodies are designed to be comfortable, right? We don't like working out of our comfort zone. We want to be comfortable. So that's why I love David Goggins. He says it's when you feel exhausted, you're only at 40%. You still got 60% left to work with. And what's happening is when you've had this crazy class, you're working hard, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. You're not really that tired. Your body is just like working past a certain comfortable limit. And so your mind is like, hey, Mike, slow down. We're tired here. But if you can get past those mental thoughts and keep telling yourself, look, I still got 60% left in the tank, and you put that in your mind, guess what? You keep pushing. How many times you've had a pad holder, come on, Mike, or I'm yelling, Mike, come on, and then you start punching harder, and it's like, see, that was your 40%. You just had 60% left and you kept pushing through, and then all of a sudden you're like, dude, I did that. I thought I was done.
You let it go, you know.
That's
like
right.
People are in there, you're like yelling at you, or you're, you know, running around in people's ears. It's kind of like, it's like, all right, cool, I do have some more.
Exactly.
And you know, like how people get the trainers push, like when you're coming around and you start watching us hit the pads. Like if there's a trainer standing there, whether it's like you, David, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, everything is clean, crisp, fast. You know, like you're breathing all easy, man. Then you leave, it's like. Like, all right, he's gone.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like I saw a recent reel on Instagram and some guy who's like a Muay Thai guy, he's in the gym and he's like, let's see if someone getting filmed makes him train harder. And there's like a guy hitting the bag and he's like, and all of a sudden he sees the phone, then he's like, and he starts like hitting the bag really hard. He just kind of goes around the gym and it's just showcasing that. And I think it's hilarious because that's kind of what happens. It's like all of a sudden someone's standing there watching you, you know, holding you accountable. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, someone's watching me. I can't slack.
Yeah.
You know, so it helps having the coaches walk around watching you guys constantly saying stuff. You know, I think it's always helpful.
What was when you made that change where you lost the weight challenge or whatever it was, transformation? Since then, and you put that in your mind, you switched it up. What has changed since then? Have you kept track of all your metrics and all that, like as far as weight, all that?
Yeah. So, my weight's dropped for sure, but I don't weigh myself very often. I have recently because I have a target weight now, you know, and I know everything because I finally I did like the in-body scan and all that
There
stuff.
you go.
But the way that I'm always keeping track mentally, like the way that I feel, and then my clothes are like way loose now. There's certain things like when I'm training that I can do that I wasn't able to do a year ago. You know, like turn a kick over, the footwork, and flexibility, that stuff, even strength. Even though I'm like weightlift, it's certain other areas in my body now that are so strong because of the training every day. Like I'm noticing that stuff. And so it's like since it's changed and I started doing like ramping up the action, like I see it, I feel it. I don't necessarily have like any type of like log about it though.
Okay.
It's kind of like I see it. I did start like filming myself at times, like training and stuff like that, to look at the improvements, and it was kind of like I wouldn't have been doing certain things that I've seen myself in film doing like in the beginning of training and stuff. But I attribute it all to getting in better shape, and sticking and trying to do my best to carry out the workouts that are given to me every day, because everything like we do the workouts in between the combos, and I'm like, all right, how does this help your Muay Thai? How does it help? I'm doing it. I'm doing those damn bicycles, and I'm like, oh, like how the hell does this even help you, man? Because that's been the worst workout for me ever. But I'm starting to touch my knees with my elbow,
That's good.
So that's one thing that's improved, and
But
I'm looking at it.
Let me help you with that narrative. It helps you so when you get hit in the body, it doesn't hurt so bad.
Yeah.
That's how it helps, okay? Just clarity right there. Just
I know.
to clarify for people, why are we doing these ab workouts? So your core is strong. So if you get punched, kicked, kneed, you can take it a little better.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
try it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Test.
But Mike, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And before we end, I wanted to kind of touch base with what we were talking about earlier. You got someone listening in right now, and I want to touch base to that switch in your mind, right? How you're like, you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. What were some of the things you used for yourself to fuel you to step up your workouts to another level? What is something you could say to someone right now who's kind of just in that weird slump that's just kind of like, man, I'm not seeing the results. Like they're starting to feel fed up with like what's going on in their life. What is something that's experienced that same feeling? What is something you could tell them right now that's listening that could help shift them into a new gear?
Well, you got to seek out like a motivating factor, I think. And so you have plenty of examples at the gym that you can look at and say, damn, that dude used to be 200 pounds, now he's 150. What is it that they do? Well, you watch them, you see they come in there every day, they take their training seriously, and you can use that as motivation. I did tons of things like, I'm gonna look at videos of kickbox or Muay Thai fights and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh damn, like how does he, how do they move that well? How does he or she move that well? Well, it's because they're coming in there and they're working every day, and so if you have your own goal, and sometimes you have to look at other people, not necessarily like try to be them, but it's good to look at examples and be like, oh cool, like Coach David tells me he used to be 200 pounds, and I'm like, I can't even believe that. You know what I mean? But I know, why would he lie about that? And I'm like, all right, come on. If this dude's fighting and he's obviously climbing up there in the ranks, and he used to be 200 pounds, like that's motivation to me. The discipline is me coming in and doing it though. So, that's one thing I would say is like you can always get like a certain motivating factor, and you can look at it and try to like hold yourself accountable. Like, all right, how come I'm still 200 pounds after I said I wanted to be 180 pounds? It's just 2 years later. Like, it's like.
So use things that like inspire you. I don't even like using the word motivation anymore because motivation's temporary. It dies. Yeah. I know my buddy Edwin will agree with me on that. You need to get inspired.
Okay.
So use people in the gym that are where you want to be. Use them as inspiration. Yeah. Right. Watch videos. Watch content that you did on whatever you can find content. Watch it to like help inspire you more. Yeah. Right. Yeah. What are certain things? So
and then I had like just real quick, I call them like my accountability buddies. Like I don't need people to tell me to stay for another class anymore, but if I'm having one of them days like, damn, I'm tired, and somebody's like, you staying for a second class? And I'm thinking about it. They're like, you can do it. I'm like, all right, it's not even like a long decision, you know. It's just kind of like I knew I was gonna do too, like, but somebody gave me the extra
a little
quick.
extra
A little
push.
And it's
Right?
only like
Extra
one or
push.
two people, you know. And if they're not there at the gym, I'm kind of like, I'm on my own today. I'm staying.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
good.
I don't need them, you know, to do it. And I don't want them to have to need them, but it helps to have like your buddies at the gym that are kind of like, come on now, we can do this. Let's go. You know, you can always do it. So
I love that. Thank you,
I
Mike.
agree.
Thank you. So I think major takeaways, find someone in the gym who's where you want to be at, use them as inspiration, look at content, and then also have accountability buddies.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's great. Buddy, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I honestly, I didn't know your whole history between each other. I've always seen you at the gym. Obviously, I'm not there as much as Neil is, but definitely anybody who Neil recommends to come on the show has a story that's inspiring, and I love hearing it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like today, I'm just a passenger, just listening to an amazing conversation, and I just get inspired, man. Like to me, I love hearing individuals like you. That and by the way, I met Neil in 2004 with Kru Rex and everything.
Okay.
I don't remember did we ever cross paths, me and him?
Probably not, just because Mike was just not there mentally at that time.
Got it. So that's when I came in, and I was there hardcore for like a good 6-7 years, every day. Just the way you guys are in multiple classes.
He'd help corner me with fighters, and he helped corner me in professional fights too.
Yeah. So we also have a history, but just listening to all that, and it's inspiring, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I thank you guys for having me and taking the time out. You know?
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us.
You know, and success. So now I know why I'm like I've never seen Edwin in the corner, and then I started seeing it at the fights recently. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Now you know. Yeah, there's history there too.
Yeah.
But thank you again, Mike. But guys, that concludes another episode of Muay Thai Save Me. If you like this episode or any other episodes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, share it to anyone that you feel might benefit from this, okay? As you all know, Muay Thai Save Me is about a show where how Muay Thai has helped give benefit and bring value to their life. And we just have all different types of guests on board that just can share their awesome story. And I always say it's worth it if we can like touch one person's heart. It was well worth it. But guys, stay tuned for the next episode next week. We'll see you guys soon.